Hey, I'm David A. Dean, and this is one of the many commentaries I do for YouTube, Facebook, and the David A. Dean fan club. This one's probably going to be a bit longish, I don't know, off the top of my head. I just want to tell you about two films I saw in the theater this week. Film number one, Martin Scorsese's new picture, Hugo. It looks like a kid's movie, right? And for all intents and purposes, a kid could watch it. Will a kid enjoy it? It's not the movie I expected. I loved it, but I also love science fiction. I also love silent movies. I love the films of Georges Méliès. So, if you know who that guy is, you're gonna love this movie. If you don't know who that guy is, you're gonna be a bit confused. I mean, there's some fantastical moments, and it's on a big scale, but it's on a very small subject. It's about a little boy who wants to fix things. There's automatons. It's big! It's big for such a small thing. I liked it a lot, and I can understand why critics would like it a lot. I can understand why it's up for Best Picture. Will your 12-year-old like it? I don't know. Maybe? If you've got a very thoughtful 12-year-old, yes. So let me put it this way. I loved it. I'm giving it 4 stars, thumbs up. I know that's registered trademark nonsense, but if your kids really liked Where the Wild Things Are, they'll probably like this one. If they didn't and they were kind of bored by it, I think that's the way they'll feel about Hugo. It's a great movie. I just think it's geared, it's a kid's movie that's geared at adults about a subject that's way older than anything. It's really about Martin Scorsese's love of motion pictures. Now, if you didn't see that in the trailers, it's a terrific movie. It's great. I'm wondering if it's marketed right, because it's definitely, there's nothing bad in it. It's not a bad movie to look at. It's a beautiful movie to look at. There's nothing really offensive in it, unless you're one of those people that's all about, I don't like a bunch of people smoking in the movies, because there's one scene with a cigarette. The fact that I'm even thinking about that is like, what, huh? But anyway, it's a decent movie. The kids are good. The acting is great. The performances are phenomenal. I can see a bunch of award nominations going around. The story can't be beat, but its themes are a little old-fashioned. It's not wham bam. There's not explosions. It's a huge scope picture on a tiny topic that if you love movies, if you love movie history specifically, you're gonna love this movie. The other film I saw was Alexander Payne's new film, The Descendants, which is completely adult. It's an adult film for adult people. The language is pretty rough, but it's a very interesting story. Just imagine you're having a problem with your marriage, right? And then one minute, your wife gets into an accident and they're gonna take her off of life support. And the movie, The Descendants, it's a great title because it's about the people that person left behind. It's about how life is complicated. It's about how, it's a terrific movie. It's a terrific movie, but it's really a movie about grief, how we deal with grief, especially grief that comes upon us quickly. The wife in question, George Clooney's wife, was a young woman. She wasn't expected to die. She was healthy. And unfortunately, there's secrets in her past that come to haunt the future. And it turns out that, you know what, your life really does affect other people. And that at the end of your life, there are people left behind. And I mean, some of the strongest moments are Clooney, and my favorite character in it is the dad, who loves his daughter and is not terribly happy with the son-in-law, George Clooney. There's a lot of things about a father who has been absent from his family because of work, and now has to step in and be the dad in this situation. It's the story about how moms aren't always perfect and dads aren't always perfect. It's a story about imperfect people in an imperfect world. And if you're an adult and you like very thoughtful movies and you don't mind a decent amount, and there's a lot of really bad language, you're gonna like this movie. If that kind of thing irks you, I would stay away from it. But that's my review. 2 films. Hugo, loved it. Descendants, loved it too, although I think that Alexander Payne has made better movies in the past. This one I think is terrific. So those are my reviews. I love going to the movies and seeing movies that I like. You know, when you're gonna pay 10, 12 bucks for a movie, isn't it great to see movies that are decent, movies that are good? So anyway, that's what I think. Hugo, The Descendants, they're there, they're wonderful. I'm giving recommendations, but I'm giving you content warnings too. So know that the first movie, there's no content problems. The second movie, it is rated R, and it's rated R for a reason. So anyway, that's David A. Dean. That's a couple of movie reviews. Word to your mother.